Shai Hulud. Welcome to the show, everyone.
Is that a Dune reference?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I was gonna say,
That's the big worm. The big worm is Shai Hulud.
No spoilers.
You know what's super funny is that I was just talking to Rachel. Is that like Shai Hulud is also the name of like a hardcore band from like the early '90s. That my cousin Alan, he gave me like a box of CDs one day, like when I was like a teenager, and like Shai Hulud was in that, and like I had no idea it was a Dune reference.
Yeah. So it is a direct Dune reference. Like,
Yes, that's the name. That is like the name of the big worm. Like that is the god of the Fremen, and their name for their god is Shai Hulud. Yeah. Welcome to the Unpaid Nobody's Hip Hop Podcast, everybody. Dune came out, so everyone's talking about Dune.
I'm gonna say where we discuss movies. It's just like,
We did do a Black Panther episode, but obviously,
it was for the culture.
yeah, we got to do Black Panther.
It was like,
right? I think we should do another movie episode. We haven't done a movie episode in like a year and a half. We should absolutely do a movie episode.
I feel like Dune would have made sense, but
No, Dune doesn't make sense. Not for us.
Yeah.
I don't think it has to be a soundtrack necessarily. I think if it's like, I'm trying to think of like a movie that would have made sense. Like, we could obviously,
like something that came out recently.
I can't even think of one that came out like recently.
I mean, American Fiction would have been fun.
American Fiction would have been fun. American Fiction is about, did you see it?
I have not.
Okay. American Fiction is about a lot of the things we talk about on this podcast. Like, you know, like a cohesive, not cohesive, fuck, I'm forgetting the word, but like a comprehensive view of like media representation, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to me, I almost think like, oh, maybe something like music related, you know, like probably the Bob Marley movie was probably the thing that we should. Yeah.
That would have made sense.
Yeah. And like, it's not like they're,
I heard it was bad. I don't.
My mom loved it.
Oh, okay. Well, my mom loves me, so I know I made it.
Yeah. But yeah. All right, Purvis. Do we want to get down?
Well, of course, let's get right
into it because we're talking about a banger album. My God, we're wearing blue and do-rags for a reason.
This is exactly what I needed in my life.
Yeah, this was.
Schoolboy
Q. Yeah, this is gonna be. I do fear this might be a short episode, because I do think as good as it is, I don't know how much there is to talk about it. You know what I mean?
That is true. Yes.
Like I'm not like obviously we have something to say about it, but like it kind of speaks for itself. But yeah, why don't we go down with like
we had expectations and it met it. So like
kind of. I think they like
right in a weird way.
Yeah, I mean, I was certainly satisfied. Satisfied is probably the best way to describe how I feel about this album. Like,
absolutely.
All right, run through what's coming out because this is a whole lot of projects that I do not think I'll listen to. I'll probably listen to Blue Lips again.
Yes. So running through the album, it actually is a very slow week. So obviously, Vultures 2 is supposed to be coming out this weekend. There's a extremely high chance, like every other Kanye West project, that it will not come out. But obviously, they actually hit Vultures 1. Like, it was a couple hours late, but it did hit the day of.
Interesting. Well, wasn't that like the second time, though?
Oh, yeah, like, of course, that, yes.
Yeah, it wasn't like...
Even any praise that's, like, not real. Yes.
Yeah,
and was already late.
Yeah, like they had missed like 2 or 3 dates, and then like when they said, like it was like the second or third time they were like, oh, it showed up.
Yes, absolutely. Once they announced there was 3 parts, then it was on time. But you're correct. The first edition of Vultures was supposed to come out. But moving on from there, honestly, just want to throw this in here. It's not necessarily hip hop, but I'm sure it'll be a big release for the year. But Ariana Grande's back. She's coming out with Eternal Sunshine.
This is a big release.
Yeah, I'm sure this is going to be all over the place. So, kind of excited for that. I may not like dive very deep into it, but I'll listen.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's Ariana is like one of those people. It's like Taylor Swift. Like I don't gotta listen to it. It's gonna get to me. There are people
whether
I like it or not, on TikTok, on the streets, in bars, I'm going to hear this music. I have never in my life streamed the song Seven Rings. I know every word. It'll get to me. Like, and look, Seven Rings is a good song. Like, I'm not gonna hate on it. Like, it's a very good song.
We're going through PTSD or something, just like mentally scarred.
My God, I'm just like,
typically the pop music like that, whether we like it or not, you're gonna hear it.
Yeah, you're gonna hear it, right?
But yeah, moving on to some of the other albums, we actually have a couple of other releases that we'll go through. NBA YoungBoy has
the go
9th project
of the month of March,
right? Compliments of Grave Digger Mountain, whatever that means. We have the return of Cal, which is unexpected, but I'll take it. I like his last album. He's coming out with Smile Again. Seems like he's just running with that positive.
Yeah, this is I'm not a Kyle fan. I don't hate him. Like, I don't think he's like awful. Like, I don't think he's like embarrassing, but I do think he's just like very corny.
He is very corny.
You know, like, but like of the albums, this is probably the one I would be the most like. Either this or the Mike album are the ones I'd be the most likely to listen to.
It's interesting because, like what you just said, I feel like when people overly push positivity within hip hop, it comes off as corny in a sense, and like I feel like he just kind of falls into that lane.
I think it's because people. I don't know. I can kind of go down a rabbit hole on this. I just think like people, a lot of times, like it comes across as corny because it's insincere, because it's not a genuine feeling of positivity. It's a reaction to perceived saturation of negativity, right? It's not genuine positivity. It's just like a reaction, you know? So I think the thing is that you can people like on an instinctive level can tell immediately that it's not real, right? I think that is why I say negativity very broadly, because I'm not necessarily talking about like tabloids and shit. I'm talking about like dramatic movies that don't make you feel happy, you know? Right? Or like dramatic or music that like isn't like Schoolboy Q. It's not an album with abundant positive messages, right? And that's because it's authentic, and that's what people care about, right? And like that's what's more real.
I was gonna say it's more relatable in a sense as well. So, but when when an artist like Cal is pushing that positivity, because it just doesn't feel as genuine.
Yeah,
it doesn't click as much.
Yeah,
I would say, and I feel like that's kind of what happened with. I mean, we've already talked about the Kid Cudi album, but like that's how I feel about it.
I feel like Kid Cudi, it's like, for me, I feel like Kid Cudi, it's like a flip of a coin, right? Because sometimes I think Kid Cudi comes across very authentically positive. Like, I remember that song Love, like when that came out on SoundCloud, the one that was on the re-release of the mixtape. Yeah, I can name Cudi. Right, that song just like it comes across as like soulful and positive and empowering, and like there's none of the Kyle feeling of it, but he has a bunch of songs that do feel like that. Like I don't want to not acknowledge that. I just feel like sometimes Kid Cudi is like, I think in his best moments, I think Kid Cudi is probably the most successful at that tone, at just like being overwhelmingly positive without coming across like a youth pastor.
That's what I was saying about the Kid Cudi album. I felt like you're at Sunday school or something.
Yeah,
like forcing positivity now. But even mentioning, just going off what you said, like even the song "Love," it still addresses the negativity that you face in life, and just like a lot of
and overcoming it.
Exactly, a lot of studies you find in psychology does focus on how like just human nature. It's sometimes easier to like grasp negativity faster than positivity, depending on the state.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true.
But anyway, going on to the last album, we kind of hinted at it earlier. We have Mike and Tony Seltzer. The album is already out. It came out midweek, called Pinball. So kind of excited for that. A similar dark tone, almost like a.
I've I like Mike. I've started listening to Mike a little bit. I like him. So this will be something I check out just to. I already saved it, so I'll probably listen to this tomorrow. Yeah, and the only real big feature on it is Earl Sweatshirt, which is that makes sense. Yeah, that's fitting.
I think they just worked together on the last album, so yeah, it just naturally makes sense, and they have a similar style.
No.
But going into the singles, I'll just whip through them because they're not really major singles.
Yeah.
Four Bats actually did drop date at 8. This is the third song that he's been blowing off of.
Yeah, he's blowing up heavy now. Like I've seen him all over the place the past week.
Literally,
and he's talented. I've listened to the song that everyone's listening to. Like it's very good.
Well, it comes with the music. He walks up to the mic and like it's a soft like R&B voice, and so it kind of just like throws everybody off. But yeah, he now has a feature with Drake on a remix.
Yeah.
So if that's not
swoops in. Swoops in. Yeah.
We have Little Peep here as well. We have an EP coming from him.
I do not like this.
Yeah, it's called Hate Me.
Yeah. I mean, I like Little Peep. I like Little Peep a lot, actually. I mean, God, if there's, I know you're not as into it, but if there's an artist that like really gone too soon, it was Little Peep. I think Little Peep was on the verge of like, I think like he was about to make his 2093. You know, like I think he was going to hit that level, you know?
Honestly, he might have. I missed the entire wave.
Yeah, I was on to, like, when I first started listening to Lil Peep, it was very much like a curiosity because it was like, you know, hip hop, which was obviously my favorite genre at the time. Okay. Combined with like emo music, which I grew up on, you know? Yeah. So obviously I was like, okay, how is this going? And like, I thought it was cool, but not particularly good. And then like a lot of it grew on me, but it was very much like, oh, I can't wait for this person to realize their potential. And then, you know.
That's true. And that does happen to a lot of the artists that we know. And to be honest, what I feel like what might have prevented him from blowing up to that level was the competition. And around the same time, I think that's when Juice WRLD was kind of blowing up. Someone else we also lost too early. So
yeah,
like he kind of just outshined. It may not have been the exact same kind of music, but close enough.
Yeah, I definitely similar. I think Juice WRLD definitely hit this scene with a more developed sound. But I think Little Peep's sound was definitely more revolutionary. It was definitely more innovative, definitely more genre pushing. But yeah, needless to say though, like I don't. My opinion of like I think this is gross and bad does not stop when it's an artist I like more. I have not listened to any of the new Little Peep stuff. I think it's very gross. I know his estate is in pretty decent hands.
Okay.
But you know, he's definitely has not had the same treatment as Juice WRLD or X. But I still think it's gross. I think it's still like way beyond like what like Mac Miller has.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, but well. Let's get to the last two ones. We have Coach Cheese coming out with Geek, and then we have Divide coming out with My House Is Not a Home. So we got a nice little balance of things coming out this week. So to keep you at least entertained.
Yeah,
it is a slow.
It's a bit of a slow week, yeah, but we've had a busy couple of weeks, so
yeah,
it's okay for the tide to go out a little bit. But we did have some announcements, some really promising huge announcements.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we want to start by talking about the festivals we won't be going to.
Yes, the festivals, unfortunately, we cannot afford to go to in entirely different states.
Maybe next year.
Maybe next year, absolutely. Dreamville is here again.
Yeah.
One of the best festivals you can go to.
Yeah, I don't
announce it is extremely wide in the variety of music that you get, but all quality.
I disagree, man. I think
you didn't like it.
I mean, J. Cole is dope. Who's the like? I love J. Cole. It's J. Cole, Chris Brown, Nicki Minaj, and who's the other one? I remember I thought the other one was good.
SZA.
SZA. Okay, so SZA and J. Cole. Yeah, I think that's great.
Well, okay, the headliners are 50-50, but the rest of the people are okay.
Oh yeah, okay. Yes, of course. Yeah, I do think the rest of the people. I think all the people like down the Down the Ticket are awesome.
Yeah.
You know,
I turn.
Yeah, I think Schoolboy Q. I think Sexy Red, Tizo, Earth Gang, Jid. Yeah, no, I think
Glock. I'm here.
I think the smaller artists are great. I just think I acknowledge that these are not small artists. I get that despite my feelings on them, these are very popular, very in demand artists. But like Chris Brown, Nicki Minaj, absolutely not. These just like that is like as exciting as seeing J. Cole and SZA on a festival venue. Chris Brown and Nicki Minaj is the opposite. Like maybe a year ago, I would have felt maybe a little bit different about Nicki Minaj, but she's just coming out of like a really bad look, and it's just not great. So I don't know. Like I don't. It's Dreamville. I love Dreamville. I am sure all their representative artists on that festival will give great performances. It's just that like I thought that the headliners, which are kind of the main story, was a very mixed bag.
That is fair. I'll give you the headliners because I don't like Chris Brown and Nicki either. So that is fair. I'll give you. But yeah, exciting stuff for that. Maybe some stuff we can be able to cover. Was that last year when Drake came on and everyone was going crazy?
Yeah.
But yeah.
And look where it happens. Look where we are now. The Drake J. Cole era.
Man.
They needed to team up to take on Nav. Like, I mean.
The only ones that can stop it. But yeah.
No, Kendrick, we need you. We must defeat Nav. No, Future, we need you. We must
unhinged. Just
the last member we need. We must break out of jail. Free Jeffrey.
Could you imagine?
It's a jailbreak. They're trying to form the anti-Nav Avengers.
I was just running out of jail, coming to the rescue. Yeah, I could see it. Straight to the studio. Anyway, on to the rest. Really, all the announcements are just tour stuff.
Yeah.
Kid Cudi, we've talked about him.
Yeah, his Insano tour.
Not announced. Yes. Pusha T, Jaden, Earth Gang. Decent guess in my opinion.
I think decent. I think decent. I love Kid Cudi. If I did not see him last year, I would go to this, even though I didn't hate Insano, but I thought it was just like very boring. So like I am just not hyped to see him tour that album. If I would not have seen him last year, I would go for this for sure. And I feel the same way about Pusha T. Like Pusha T is fantastic. He's fantastic. We saw him. Yeah, and 2 years ago. And not only that, but we saw he was at Lala last year. We saw the stream and Jeff was there and it was the exact same set. And he hasn't released any new music. So it's like, yeah, that's cool. I'm sure like for a lot of people that's going to be dope, but it's just like I don't need to see Pusha T every year. Like
you really don't.
And I just don't like Jaden. I think Jaden has always just been downstream. I think Jaden just rips people off.
Interesting.
Yeah, like
what do you mean like rip them off?
Like I think Sire, what was it? Like there's like Sire and the other one.
Aries.
Yeah.
Same thing backwards or whatever.
Yeah. I think the first one is very just like derivative of like Tyler's Igor. And the second one is just like very derivative of the Brockhampton Saturation trilogy. Right? Like if you just go back and listen. Yeah. So like I don't think he's awful. I don't bemoan anyone who likes Jaden. Like once again, like I don't think I think he's maybe a step above Kyle in that regard. Like I think he's not like an embarrassing artist or an awful artist. I don't fuck with him.
He really preaches like positivity or anything.
No, he's a little up his own ass.
Yes, he is. 100%.
Yeah, he definitely gets high on the smell of his own farts.
Yeah, he not.
Yeah. But like no, I think it's cool. Earth Gang, that's cool. That's a very cool addition to a Kid Cudi concert. Not only just an artist that I would go see. If these were cheap ass tickets, I would go just to see them.
Yeah. They are. I think they're like the last one. No, I still need to see Ari. Well, yeah, they're one of the last people in Dream Labs.
Yeah. So yeah, like I think this is a cool tour. I think there's a lot there. It's just like not very compelling for me personally.
Yeah, no, and it's gonna be at the Austin Arena. So
Yeah, and the Allstate Arena is just very inconvenient to get to, and I've heard it's not great.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's fine for a monster truck rally, but
I didn't even know they had monster truck rally.
Oh my God! Every Sunday.
Really? Last time I went was for a Wolves game, and it was very cheap.
I don't doubt that.
Fireworks in the stadium, so it's a little unhinged. But anyway,
a little.
We also have the release we have the release date of Sir's new album. What is it? 2-3 weeks? Yeah, March 22nd. He'll be coming out with his new album. We're here for it 2 weeks from now.
We'll be there.
I'm very, very excited for that. TDE seems to indeed be eating this year. And then to close us out, finally, we have Tierra Whack.
Yeah.
Seems like we're getting the album.
Yeah. What's it called? Whack? Worldwide Whack?
Something like that. Whack World or something. Something around that.
I'm very excited. It turns out that Chanel Pit single was for this album, which is good. I like that single a lot. So yes. I'm into that. I think this is going to be a big... I don't know if it's going to be a big release. I think it could be injecting an artist into a mainstream style release. You know,
I could see this being just something I worship. I appreciate more for the quality than like how big it gets.
I totally agree with that, because like I'm dialed in to Tierra Whack, so I'm into this 100%. So this will definitely be an album we cover on this show at some point, even if it's in like a catch up episode we do in like June.
Mm-hmm. And it's a dope release. I don't know if you saw how she's doing the release album parties, but essentially several record stores.
Yeah. No, it's a very cool. Yeah, I think Killer Mike did something similar. Yeah, it's a very. It's like it really walks the line between like the underground independent, like only surviving because you're tightly connected to the scene, and someone who has like the ability to do something at scale that like Tierra Whack does, because like she has like a little bit of clout, you know.
Absolutely.
So I think it's an awesome rollout, probably the second best rollout of the year, to be honest, behind Schoolboy. Right.
Yeah, that's true. It'll be at Sugar Records here in Chicago.
Yeah, that's where I met Killer Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Yeah. All right. Are we doing schools in session because Jasper is not here?
Good.
Let's do it.
All right, bet. Boom. So, I found a new link as well. So,
ooh, more rappers to talk about. I would think it was more old ones.
Yes.
Tell me about, ask for my opinion on LL Cool J.
All right.
Bad Hats.
To get LL Cool J, but we will get some other people. Bobby Shmurda.
Bobby Shmurda? A+. That song got me through so much.
That one song got me through everything. The hat is still orbiting.
Yeah, it's still orbiting the earth, dude. I kind of... My only thing about Bobby Shmurda, I hate that I can't just yell "Free Bobby" anymore. That's my only thing I don't like about Bobby Shmurda.
The best part about it. It's just that he hasn't really done anything. That's the only thing.
Yeah, he hasn't done. He
literally didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put a C.
Yeah, no, I'm probably gonna do a B-, because that song. Yeah, that song is iconic. Like,
it is.
And also, he never did anything wrong.
That's the thing. That's what he never did anything wrong. So like, not a D, nothing bad. Like,
yeah.
Okay, they did give me a lot of names. I don't really recognize. 50 Cent.
50 Cent. Have we not done 50 Cent?
We done 50?
I don't think so. Nah, no, I don't think so. Not anything. This is hard. This is hard. I wish Jasper was here to be the sacrificial opinion lamb.
Right.
I kind of want to go A-.
I was thinking A range, but I just didn't know how high.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it's an A range, but I think like where on the A, like I don't think it's an A+. Because I think he fizzled out very hard. And he did kind of represent like the end of an era. Yeah. You know, he represented the end of like the gangster 90s rapper. And then like immediately after him, the next biggest rapper was Kanye West, and everything changed forever.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's unfortunate for him that it
was truly the end of an era. So, but like, man, some of those songs,
and his name just kind of carries afterwards. Like, he did influence a lot of people.
Oh, he influenced a ton of people. No, and he was just like so huge, and like the talent was there, right? Like,
oh, absolutely. And the music videos, like, he's gone on to actually have other careers in other like industries.
Yeah,
he's had a good career for himself. I'm comfortable with it.
Yeah, I'm going A-.
Okay. We actually did do YNW Melly. We didn't do Tory Lane shit.
Let's abdicate Tory Lanez. We're gonna abdicate, yeah.
I'm gonna put him in a question mark just because we're probably gonna get him again. So let me go ahead. Yeah. Okay, that's 3 people. We did 2 more. Wow, did we do this person yet? I feel bad doing this without Jasper. It's XXX.
Yeah. I give him an F.
You're gonna give him an F?
Yeah, dude. He's never done anything good.
Okay, it's not.
I don't care. I don't care that every 17-year-old on the internet thought it was cool. I don't care. He was a shallow and bad human being who made shallow and bad art, and the only reason people identified with it is because they were too young to have any other like personality other than also being very shallow and bad, because that's what everyone is when they're. But that's because that's what everyone is when they're a teenager, right? Like when you don't have like it's the definition. I just think it's very immature music. I think he was a piece of shit human being. Like I
feel like, and obviously everyone's tied to other things. I feel like this was my Little Peep. Like how you see X is how I see Little Peep. Except Little Peep is not a bad person.
Yeah,
he's a perfectly fine person.
Yeah,
I know him at least.
Not and all just not at the scale that X is. Like so like some of the shit that like if I said about X and we actually had the audience we deserve, we would be taken off YouTube, right? Like it's like some of the shit he did to human beings is despicable, and the thing is that like I just don't think the music is worth anything either. And I also don't think the impact is anything that should be celebrated, right? Like, I think...
Interesting.
Yeah, like, impact is not always good. It's, like, think of it this way. Like, look at your cell phone. Are you happy that you don't have an audio jack? Like... But you know what...
What does that have to do with X, though?
What I mean by that is that, like...
As an example, I'm sorry.
As an example of, like, impact is not always good. One phone doesn't have the headphone jack, and then no one does, right? And it sucks, right? Same thing here. Like, I think just because, like, it influenced all these other artists, I don't think it was very good. And, like, I think, like, the music it has inspired has been generally kind of, uninteresting, and yeah, so I give X a full F.
Okay, understood. Okay, and that's my disconnect. I now understand what you were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, because he's a terrible person. At least like everything he stood for and did outside of music was.
I think everything he did within music, like I think even ignoring all those things, I don't think he has I don't think he has like music worth listening to, even if he was a decent human being. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. Like
I actually like some of his songs. I will buy some of his songs. I actually do enjoy, and I think the quality is there. But I think you're right. Sometimes the influence is not great, and a lot of the things that or a lot of the messages that he pushed around mental health wasn't really in an effort to like get better.
Yeah.
which I mean, it is what it is.
No.
I'm gonna put him as a C or D.
Yeah.
Just for myself.
No.
I completely understand the F, and I'm not mad
Yeah.
at it at all. We'll let Jasper give a grade when he comes
back. Yeah. Nope, he missed out. I'm not revisiting this. Like,
okay, we're gonna end off with a banger. The last one.
Yeah.
French Montana.
Oh man, I wish I could go lower.
Can you go lower than X?
I give it a F for French Montana. Like, that's the grade I gave X. So the French Montana.
I am totally fine with saying
but I don't like it. I don't know. Like, I actually like French Montana is on songs that I like though. Like, I love that Work remix.
Let me actually look at it.
Like, Work remix, like French Montana's verse on Work remix, better than anything X ever made. Like,
now, okay, here's the thing.
Ass fat, you can park 10 Tahoes on it? What?
That's the bar. Who thinks of that?
When they masked up, coming for your ice. When they barefaced, coming for your life.
Okay, you're right. All right, Mark. Where were you in life where it's just like, man, that's kind of hard. Okay, French Montana might be something, and then you're just disappointed every time going.
Yeah, no, like it's really that. There's like that, and there's the song with The Weeknd, and that's what I got. Like,
don't forget.
The one with Sway Lee, Unforgettable. Yeah, Unforgettable is a banger, but like,
I think he's worth
a D plus. I'm gonna give him a D plus.
I think that's a good grade.
Yeah,
more accurate.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a D plus.
I want to save the F's for literally people that like just aren't bad. And yes, he's bad, but he's got some.
Yeah, no, it is like, my thing is less like, oh, is French Montana bad, and more like, who is listening to French Montana?
Yes, exactly. And to give you an idea of who's actually sitting at F right now,
yeah,
it's 6ix9ine, Blueface, and potentially X. I think that's a fair scale for F. And I don't want to put French Montana with this.
Yeah, no.
Okay, but we're done with school.
Okay. Speaking of school, Boy Q, Blue Lips, LP review.
What a transition.
I know. I'm very good at this. We've gotten very good at podcasting.
We get too comfortable. That's the real thing.
That's the danger. All right.
Here. Super, 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 super excited.
All right. What is this, 5th or 6th album from Mr. Quincy Matthew Hanley?
Something around those numbers. Something around that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5-year break since.
6th studio album.
6? Okay.
Yeah. Purvis, why don't you introduce this album? Because I think you're probably the biggest Schoolboy Q fan on the show.
Yes, I definitely am. I've been listening to Schoolboy Q since he came out, essentially. Very close, very, very close attachment to Oxymoron, and I have been fiending so that it's since then. Blank Face, very close to it. Crash Talk has its highs and lows. And then we have Blue Lips. We've had a 5-year wait, and this man is in full dad mode.
Yeah, full dad mode.
Full dad mode.
Yeah.
And he is rocking it with pride, and I can't get mad at that, to be honest. But yeah, going into it, I just wanted something good. That's literally all I wanted. If you can get somewhat close to the excitement that I had from Oxymoron, I will be more than happy. And I must say, off the first listen, I was not ready.
Yeah, no, I was kind of taken aback by the first listen too. Because like I had heard some of the singles, and I liked a lot of the singles. I loved Yearn.
Yes.
And the Back in Love preview, I loved.
Back in Love, Blue Slides, everything that he put out for a single was great.
Yeah.
Like our highlights in the album.
Yeah.
And that's not to say the rest of the album isn't good.
No.
But like, they're definitely some of the highlights.
He definitely picked highlights, but at the same time, I feel like those songs feel the most like Oxymoron, Blank Face, LP style Schoolboy songs, and the album does not. And I think it's good for that reason. I think like that part has grown on me, and I even now appreciate how much how harder those songs that do sound like that hit interspersed in the album the way they are, right?
Absolutely.
But it was like the first listen was kind of jarring, and like I enjoyed it, but I had to listen to it at least. I got around 4 listens in, and it was almost immediately on the second listen where I was like, "Oh, okay, this is coming together for me."
Yeah, I'm pretty much the exact same one. I think I eventually got through this maybe 6 or 7 times, but the first time I listened to it was literally on the commute, on the train to work, and I'm thinking I'm about to be like just ready to go crazy.
Rob a bank.
Literally, I was going to do all the drugs and kill everyone on the train. Not actually, but like that was the mentality state coming into it. And like even the opening track is a very slow burner, but it gets you. It built that atmosphere in a sense to get you ready for the album. And I'm on the train like, is this a good album? Like, I genuinely did not know if I was going to be highly disappointed.
Yeah, because like I think something that was maybe left unsaid by us was we kind of wanted this to be a return to form, to Oxymoron, a return to that,
because that's what we knew was good Schoolboy Q,
and that it is very immediately like not that, like, and it doesn't even sound like his older stuff like Habits and Contradictions, which has like a lot weirder production than Oxymoron, but like I don't know, that this sounds way more out there, but once again, it did grow on me pretty intensely, because I could not say that this is a bad album by any stretch. So like once I got to the second listen, like a lot of the songs that just kind of bewildered me the first time around really hit. The best example is Pop. Like the first time I listened to Pop, I was like, what is this? And then the second time I'm like, Pop, Pop, Pop.
No, I'm in the exact same boat. Because it opens up with Funny Guy, which is fairly slow. It's like a slow burner. It walks you through the album. And then like Pop just turns it up all the way. And like, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't said like for the podcast on camera, I don't really like Rico Nasty's voice. I think she's very talented.
What?
I think she's very talented. I love some of the music that she's came out with, but her voice is very jarring at times. And like, I just wasn't ready for it. So like, her screaming Pop over and over was just like, what am I listening? Like, what is going on?
Dude, I love Rico Nasty. I had that feeling too the first time, but it took literally less than a second full listen for me to be dialed in on that song. Look.
It's like, okay, I'm ready. I'm locked in now. It reminded me of
Did you like, after you adjusted to it, did you like her contribution then?
I like her contribution much more.
Yeah, it's grown. Yeah.
It's not my favorite song on the album.
Yeah, it's not mine either.
Yeah, but I think she did put in a decent contribution.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm a big fan of her, so I was very happy to see her on this.
Yes, absolutely. And like, I just felt like, because I don't know if you remember, there was an interview during the Blank Face era, and Kanye West sent in the part of that part to Schoolboy Q, and you know, it opens on just like, okay, and Schoolboy was just like, dang, did I just get trolled? That's how I felt about Pop.
Yeah,
like, am I getting trolled? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, like,
but it worked out me, absolutely.
Yeah, let's talk about what I think is like the first real highlight of the album. That's Thank God for Me.
Yes,
yeah, the banger, certified banger. I think this 4-song sequence is one of the strongest parts of the album. Thank God for Me through Lovebirds, I think, goes off. Even though Lovebirds is very much like a very different tonally very, very different song. Lovebirds and Blue Slides are both kind of a lot chiller, but no, I think this song goes off. It kind of feels halfway between like the more out there songs in this album, like Pop and Funny Guy. I didn't really say my thing on Funny Guy. I like it. I think it's easily like one of the weaker songs on the album. I don't think it starts as strong as it finishes. But I think by the time I get into pop, I think I'm dialed in.
Yeah.
You know, and then I think Thank God for Me is an even better song than pop. And I think it's just the classic Schoolboy Q that I like.
Yes. And he killed it. And the other thing, the actual lyrics throughout the whole album, but specifically,
yeah,
he's talking about a lot of personal stuff. Like it's formed very well. Like it sounds good. You can understand it. It's mixed very well.
It is mixed very well.
It's pretty relatable.
So I do agree that it's mixed very well. Do you know what it kind of reminds me of though? Because I do feel like the lyrics, like the third time I listened to this, I listened to it with the lyrics up, so I like read along with it, and like there's actual like substance to like what he's writing about. These are not just like silly bars.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I've definitely got the impression, especially this afternoon listening to it, when I listened to it after the lyric listening, but without lyrics again, it kind of feels like the lyrics are there as more of part of the wall of sound, as opposed to like really lyric forward like most hip hop is. And I think it reminds me a lot of Scaring the Hose. Like,
Really? Okay.
I think it does. Just like the way that it's just like there's this really bonkers wall of sound everywhere. And like the lyrics, while intelligible, are like much more there as like part of that soundscape, as opposed to like, you know, being displayed the same way that they are on like, you know, think of like a song like a Millie, where it's like, you know, that whole beat is set up so you can hear the punchlines.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Let me see here. Because I'm actually pulling up some of the lyrics. I actually wanted to go over some of the lyrics because now that you actually pointed that out, it's a great way. Because this album itself, we don't get and this is just my opinion, we don't get a lot of them recently. But this is an actual album, like you just listen for the enjoyment.
Oh yeah, it is, as LP calls, the elusive album-length album. Like it feels like an album. It's not a double album. It doesn't feel like there's going to be DLC.
He even I know you get off of Twitter, but he even mentioned, somebody asked about a deluxe, and he was like, considering all of like the costs behind it, the label BS, and all this other stuff, it's not worth putting out 3-4 more songs for $2,000. He literally was like, I would get $2,000. So I get it now. I completely understand, and it's packed very well. Like
it's an incredibly well sequenced album, right? Like it's a very the timing of each
up, slowing down. Yep.
Yeah.
I love it. Honestly. I like it a lot. Here, actually, should we just keep going through the track list?
Yeah, let's just go through the track list. What do you?
Because I think we made it to Love Birds is actually one of my favorite songs of the album.
Yeah, let's talk about Love Stars, then we can circle back to Blue Slides. Because we gotta talk about Blue Slides, and we talked about Yearn when it came out. What does Yearn mean?
I don't know. You know, ye is my word. So
yeah,
it's just like,
damn what Bob got a bitch like Yearn.
Like Yearn.
Yeah.
What's it even mean?
What does it even mean?
I don't know, but it's productive. Well, let's go into Blue Slides then. Let's go into let's go on.
I like Blue Slides a lot. I think it's a lot chiller.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like it kind of sets up like the rhythm, because like there's a lot more. It's a much more dynamic album than Oxymoron, and I would have to re-listen to Blank Face, because like I like it, I just don't love it. But I gotta re-listen to it and see like how dynamic it is, because like Blue Slides is just like a very big a tonal change compared to Thank God for Me, and then especially compared to the song that comes after it.
Yeah,
you know,
it's I don't want to say weird, because I actually enjoy it, but the pacing of going from very fast to very slow and having that kind of be like a roller coaster.
Yeah,
album, it works.
Yeah.
And so having this lull moment in between the two albums is definitely weird, but somehow he's able to
I think it totally works.
Yeah.
I think like at first it can be off-putting, but then I think like there's like a rhythm to the album on this. And I also think like when you get later into the track listing, those start to blur. Like it starts with like, you know, Thank God for Me and Blue Slides, and then Yearn, and then Lovebirds. But then eventually you get to like Movie and Ohio, which have like these wild beat changes, and like they kind of become, or Foe. Is that the one with Absols? Is that
Yes.
Foe? Like I don't know how to say it. Like I know it's a
I
song.
think it's Foe.
Yeah.
I heard somebody else say Foe. So
yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Blue Slides like sets up this like rhythm of like the album very well.
Mm-hmm. What's interesting though, at least it's how it seems to be presented. I thought this was a tribute to Mac Miller, but he doesn't go into it too deep.
No, it's just I think it's just like a short like little tribute.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's a reference to Blue Slide Park, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would be if anyone.
Yeah, because they were like best friends.
Schoolboy Q, like they're the ones to speak on Mac Miller.
Oh, I totally agree. Like I would not think that was distasteful at all. I think like there is like a line that references him that I think was very good, but I don't remember it like off the top of my head.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, here you go. I see something here. Lost a homeboy to drugs, man. I ain't going backwards.
Yeah.
So that's tough. That is tough. I understand. But yeah. Moving on, I guess I think the next one is Jaren, right?
Yeah, the next one is Jaren. This song just beats. This song's just like a banger and a half. And as much as I do think this album is great, and there are a lot of like really great high energy moments on it, I don't know how many songs are just as big of a banger as this.
Oh yeah, there's not even a chorus in this song.
Yeah,
it's just bar. It's like it's literally just him rapping.
Yeah,
so, it's in your face. It's intentional.
Yeah,
and it worked.
Yeah,
and he does it well.
And it was the best possible single for this album. Yeah. Okay, so we talked about Lovebirds. Do you want to talk about Movie? Because I feel like Movie is like the first one where it feels like, you know, I do like where it builds to and where it gets to, but Movie was a bit of a slower, not as big of a hit for me.
That is true. It is one of the slower songs.
Yeah.
I still enjoyed it, to be honest.
I do still enjoy it. And I feel very similarly about the first half of Cooties. Cooties, when the beat switch hits, I really like. But I think like Movie and the first half of Cooties I just don't know if they hit like that rhythm at like Blue Slides and Lovebirds the same way for me.
Yeah. It's almost, I don't want to say a lull in the middle of the album.
Yeah.
It's like it still works. There's still good beat switches.
There's still good songs.
Yeah. But I totally get that, like, it's almost like a breather. It's in the middle of the album. You finally take like, okay, let's calm down.
Yeah. And then like I love Ohio. Like I think Ohio's a great song. Even though I thought the Freddie Gibbs, I was a little disappointed by the Freddie Gibbs verse. Like I don't think it's bad. I just don't think it's as good as his usual verse, like guest features.
Absolutely.
You know, I think I think Freddie Gibbs is an underrated feature artist at just like constantly delivering. And I don't know. And there was also a collaboration I was very excited to see, and I just didn't think it hit as hard as it could have. But I think the song's great. Like I think like the song as a whole, I really love.
This is one of the ones, and there's a couple of beat switches.
Yeah, there's a few beat switches in this one. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So I think this. Yeah, no, Schoolboy is crazy all over. And I think Ohio and Foe are like really, really strong.
Absol
fucking kills it. Absolutely the best feature on this album. 100%. Not even question. Not even close. Not even close. Like I love I actually do really like Devin Malik on Back in Love. I know he's not nearly as famous as the other features, but Back in Love is my favorite song on the album. And but man, Foe hits.
It is. That's one of the highlights for me. Absolutely.
Oh, 100%. I think Ohio and Foe are an excellent 1-2 combo. And First and Nunu, I think, are also kind of, not so much in terms of energy, because I think they're fairly high energy, but I don't like them as much as the songs immediately before or after, but I do like them still. I think First and Nunu are still very fun, like, songs where we get to see Schoolboy Q take center stage.
Absolutely. It's this moment to just kind of do his own thing, be in a groove. Because even first, it's very fun is a good way to put it, but I was going to say goofy. Like the sample selection and the way it opens up is very comedical. I liked it, honestly. So Fun is a perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
He's just messing around. And he mentions Kanye several times in this album.
Yeah.
And this was one of the times he mentioned it.
But everyone's got something to say about Kanye.
I am curious when these songs were made. I don't know how long he's been singing.
Yeah, impossible to tell.
Yeah. Again, we're talking about a 5-year gap here. So
yeah.
Who knows what he's trying to cover? Because the other time there, I think I texted you about it. Like one of the last lines in the album is just like, "You're my Kim K to my Kanye," and I'm just like, that's a bad thing.
It's a bad thing. Yeah. Why would you want to be that?
This is us removing the Will and Jada line out of J. Cole. We're removing this out of the album.
Yeah. It's not good. It's not great.
And then to the highlight, yeah, Back in Love. I killed it.
Absolutely. Dude, this hook, I just want to play forever. Like, this is Back in Love with this shit.
Yes. And this is, I was like, this could have been like the title track. Like, this could be.
Yeah, this kind of, I do feel like this is like this should have been like the title track of the song, like of the album. It's very much like, it feels there. I don't think there's much of a theme, or even I don't think there's any kind of narrative concept or a theme. There is something I want to bring back up about this.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this feels like the whole impetus of the album, like top layer, like we're just gonna talk about it, and like that's what it is. It feels like Schoolboy Q, like falling back in love with hip hop. I hope we can get a run like we got, but I would love if this is the Habits and Contradictions to like,
Jesus. Could you imagine?
Yeah, well, you put out those albums all in a relatively short amount of time, so.
I mean, I would love it. I'm just saying that. I'm saying, could you imagine that excitement?
Yeah, no. So I thought this song hit. Like, I was very into the preview version that we got, which doesn't have the Devin Malik feature. I think it's a very weird, not bad. I've grown to really like it. I think it's very weird to put his feature up front on like a song that is basically like the hallmark song of the album, despite not having anywhere near the most listens. But I digress.
It dies down over.
Yeah, it just like goes down and down.
But again, it's an album experience. So like most people, I won't say most people. If I listen to this album, I would listen front to back. So
yeah, I definitely think that this is an album experience. I think like Yearn, Thank God for Me, Foe, Ohio, Back in Love, the one with the Alchemist, Germany. Which one is it? Pig. Well, we'll get to Pig Feet.
We'll get
yeah. Lost Times. Like, yeah, like there's like a good handful of songs that I like on this, but really I'm gonna be listening for it as an album.
Lost Times.
Yeah, I mean, this I feel like it. I think it's an incredible song. I think it's one of the better songs on the album. I do feel like it almost stands out stylistically, like as being, because it's an Alchemist beat and it's very laid back, and like we talked about how there are songs on this like Movie and Lovebirds and Blue Slides that aren't at nearly as like in your face as the rest of the album. I don't know. I don't know if I would describe those songs as laid back.
Yeah.
This does. This is very laid back. I think it's fantastic. I think it's a great song to put in between like a banger like Back in Love and like a very emotional song like Germany 86. But yeah, it just kind of felt a little odd, but still very one of the better songs on the whole project.
Yeah. There's several points in this album where like it is, when you look at it from a grand scheme, it's like this is either weird or like an odd selection. But then when you actually listen to it a few times, it's like, man, this just flows perfectly. Like it just makes sense why he did what he did. And I know we're sick of saying it, but if West Side Gun was on this track,
I know.
It would have been an island.
I know.
Probably the best song of the album.
Yeah, I know.
That's why he didn't do it.
Why you didn't do it. Because he hates us. Because Schoolboy Q and West Side Gun hate us.
Yes. But let's get into Germany, because yeah, you're right. This is one of the emotional ones. I believe this is one he's talking about his mom, right?
Yes. Yeah, because it's about like where he was born.
Working late. She taught me how to be great. My superhero is a woman. You know, she served for this country. Like, I love that.
Yeah.
Shout out to the moms. Like,
yeah. No, Germany 86 was a wonderfully beautiful song. I think it's nestled like right where it needs to be. Like, I thought Time Killers was very good, not great. But I still think like Germany 86 to Pig Feet is like the peak of the album. I just think like, I think it's a wonderfully sequenced album, right? Like, you know, you can tell that they probably have about 12 more songs and they just crafted the best possible listening experience.
Right. And there's no wasted time.
No wasted time.
As impactful as it is, it's 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's 2 minutes and 6
yeah.
minutes. That's
right. Because like the album's like long, but not obscenely. It's 56 minutes. Like, you know, Yeat's album was what, like another 25 minutes? Yeah. But yeah. So Germany 86, and then we have Time Killers, which I thought was good but not excellent, and then we have Pig Feet, which I think is
it's so hard.
So hard.
So good. Like this
so hard. Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. And I believe you told us that this was the song that made the entire album click for you.
For me, yeah. No.
Yeah.
Because I think the first time I listened to it, I honestly didn't even get fully through it just because I was doing my commute. In that second time when everything started hitting, and this is towards the end of the album and it's like wrapping up, and I know Childish Major, like I've been following him, like this just
they got us with the first half of the name.
Right.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? No, but it hit hard.
Yeah.
I love this song.
Yeah, I love this song. If we talk about what I think is a excellent closer with Smile.
Yes.
Yeah, he just comes out. He has bars after bars. He has that very weird Kim K Kanye bar.
What does it mean? Like, why would you at? You could have just taken it out.
Yeah. And then he literally just says, "That's it." And then the song.
Yep. That's it. I mean, it works. It's a great closer. The album is good. It's a good album. And I'm so happy to say it's a good album. But it is weird seeing how old is Schoolboy Q now? Like we've seen you've seen the highs and lows of Schoolboy. Schoolboy Q is 37 years old.
I know.
It's a grown man.
Yeah, I know.
Releasing a project like this. So I'm happy. I'm very satisfied. There is, as rough as the first listen was, there's absolutely nothing I would change about this album.
No, yeah, this is like it is very singular, right? Like it feels very much like the result of a vision, right? And here's the thing, I really like this album. I think if someone told me they didn't like this album, I feel like it would offend me a lot less than like Oxymoron. You know what I mean? Because like I do think this album is a little weird and is a little off-putting, but just because music is challenging doesn't make it worse, right? I think like that's a word that it's a little pretentious to throw around, but I think it accurately describes this. I think it's, while delivering a lot of like the core essentials of what we want from Schoolboy Q, I think it's kind of challenging. I think he's really pushing boundaries and like pushing like what he wants his audience to expect. So yeah, I get like why people might not like it, but I think it's kind of an unmitigated success, right? Like not every song is fucking Pig Feet, but
there's really good quality music in
all throughout. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just taken aback. Now I do have a couple questions for you.
Okay.
Because I've heard
I have some too. So you go.
Okay. So one I've heard a lot of people call this like dad rap and put this in conversation with like Jay-Z's 444, Killer Mike Michael, Quaranta, things like that. Do you agree with that? Because I don't think it's unreasonable.
Yeah.
But I don't agree. Like, this feels just like a slightly older person who, like, has rediscovered a creative verb, right? I don't...
He's already rapped about all the other stuff. So.
Yeah, it doesn't sound, autobiographic. It doesn't sound overly autobiographical, except in spots like Germany 86, except in spots like Lovebirds. It doesn't sound super autobiographical, right?
I was gonna say, at least in terms of your question, I have seen the dad rap claims as well. Now, I do think in terms of the quality and the style, I think it's fine saying this is like a dad rap.
Yeah.
It is a very mature album.
That's fair. That's a very fair point.
It's a very mature album. Now, I noticed you did compare it to things that are seen as like biographies. I would not put it at that level.
No.
He does talk about some personal things, but it's not like he's diving as deep as a Michael, as deep as a 444, and revealing like flaws and challenges. Like,
yeah.
He does talk about his childhood in a sense. He does talk about like his mom and things of that nature, but it's not to that extent.
No, I agree.
I'm fine with dad rap because it's very mature. I'm not okay with like...
Yeah. Yeah, I think like, yeah, it definitely is not in the creative vein of those albums for that reason, right? It is mature. The thing is that, like, I think there's also a lot of hip hop that we would describe as mature that doesn't fall into the dad rap category at all, right? I think of something like Alfredo by Freddie Gibbs, right? That's like a very mature, musically refined album, despite being a despite being a gangster rap album, but it's like very mature. Or like something like Swimming, right? Well, he's not, he's very mature, but not like dad rap. So yeah, I totally agree with that, but I wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
okay.
I've seen a lot of claims of that as well, for sure.
All right, what are your questions, Mr. fucking Purvis?
Okay. Now, I know you don't. You're not on Twitter. Did you see his own ranking?
Yeah, I did. I disagree with it. I still think Oxymoron's his best album, to be frank.
Hands down. It's not even close.
I still think...
I don't want to say it's not even close, but yeah, hands down.
Yeah, I definitely think Oxymoron is his best album.
4. That's even more insane to me.
Yeah, like what? I gotta look it up. Okay.
The first one is Blue Lips.
Okay, like obviously he's gonna say the newest thing is the best, right? And like, look, I will say this. I'll give it time. Like, I don't... I will give it time. Like, it's good enough that, like, okay, we'll see. But as of right now, no. I don't know if I'm going number 1 with Schoolboy.
So, number 2 is Blank Face, which partially I would put at, like, 3, but it's not too far for me.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Habits and Contradictions, which was a curveball, in my opinion. I did not know he put that.
Yeah, that seems a bit high. Because, like, I like Habits and Contradictions. I think it's a good album, but like,
it's...
But listen, Oxymoron is gangster on it.
Like, come on. Oxymoron number 4? What are you doing?
Like, if you would have put it second, I'd be like, okay, we got to put Blue Lips first because they keep promoting Blue Lips.
He has to promote it.
Right. But like, yeah. I mean, but like, I don't know. Like, I do feel like there's like 2 ends of it, right? And it's like, we exist in the middle. And it's like, on one hand, like, I do love the fact that like Schoolboy Q is kind of like, just by putting this out, it's like, I'm kind of part of the conversation. He's entitled to an opinion on his own work, 100%. So like, I kind of like that he's injecting himself in the conversation in that way. On the other hand, like, like, while I think like, yeah, he could be just like anyone else and voice his opinion and we can disagree with it, he does know the material to a degree that we never will. So, where's Crash Talk on this list?
Crash is number 5. Number 6 is Setbacks, which I think is
fair. I think that's fair. Yeah.
The end of the list is fair.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But what you said, that was the biggest, like, that's the biggest takeaway for me is that he has a perspective that no one else has. It's literally his music. And he knows, like, everything that went into it. He knows where he was in life when he made this music. So you never know. He might be putting Oxymoron that low because he was in a bad place. Who knows? So, yeah, I get it. But very, very interesting list. And what was dope about it, I don't know any other artist that has actually listed their own discography like this.
No. I know artists who have said, like I know Kanye was very open about the fact that he thought 808s was his best album, you know? But
he doesn't like list all,
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, and like, listen, I don't even like ranking artists' albums because I think it's pedantic. But like,
he did give explanations. To be fair.
Oh, what were his explanations?
Okay, I'll actually read them because he took time to go into them. Believe it or not.
I believe that.
I'm trying to read.
Schoolboy Q sounds like a good poster.
No, he's done a lot of good social media stuff. Okay, number 1, Blue Lips. It's early, but it's how I feel today. Could change. I mean, bro, y'all never heard me rap like this. I've been good for years, to be real. I just didn't know where I would fit in the circle of this bullshit and algorithm, so I made my bed and chose art. I'm too good to let my talent go to waste over a viral moment. I'm 37 and I'm hungry. I honestly didn't think nobody could fuck with me, to be real. I'm sorry, there's like, he's
dude.
Capital H's. I always find new pockets, and I've been nervous before, but never scared. I'm one of them ones easy. I made this album for artists thinking people who don't want some dope shit no more. I stayed away from interviews on purpose coming into this album and just kept it music. I got interviews lined up now to go more in depth, but yeah, ignore the circus because it's getting weird. Music needs music. Music needs effort. Blue Lips. So that was his reason for Blue Lips.
Okay, I respect that. And I do agree. That it is his most artful album. I'll give him that. 100%. So, yeah.
Okay. Number 2, Blank Face. After dropping Pop Records, I didn't want to get boxed in. Was told this album wasn't ready yet. Yeah, fucked up my head, almost ruined me. Was told that part flopped, so I guess the Kanye song. Fucked my head up. I stayed down, had a so-called bad first week from 2016 standards. Somehow album just connected like 2 months later. That part went super duper platinum, and later Blank Face a classic. I don't care what y'all say. I didn't like it at first because people told me the whole way, this ain't it. One of the most creative gangster rap albums ever. This album going gold felt better than Oxymoron's platinum. Okay. I'll say Oxymoron.
Yeah, go up to Oxymoron. You don't gotta do all of them.
Right. Number 3, Habits and Contradictions. Bruh, I figured it out. Made a hit, indie hands on the wheel. Blessed, oh my God. Here we go. Bro, so many highs. Nightmare on Fig. I don't even know what he's saying. I can't even read this. I don't know how I pulled this. Oh, he's listing the names on the album. I don't know how I pulled this off on God, but 8 out of 10 for me. Take away maybe 3 songs, but I don't know, damn near flawless in my opinion. This album made me who I am. Oxy Music, sheesh. And then we get to 4.
Yeah.
Oxymoron. Shocking, I know. A lot of pop records, quote unquote, it was my choice. I love Outkast and said, why not? I mean, this album is extremely good and still living off that album, literally. That thing killed me with this album was having to make a Target version, Best Buy version, Apple exclusive, and a deluxe. Like, what the fuck? But still, the 12 songs on them are damn near classic. So
yeah, no, that's fair.
Really
Yeah, no, I think that's completely valid.
So his reasoning, at least he took time out to explain it. So,
this is better than us. Like, no, that was awesome.
And I hope all artists, maybe at the end of their career, you don't have to do it now, but rank your albums. Talk about it.
Engage. Yeah, you don't have to rank them, but engage,
Yeah, exactly.
You know who probably ranks his albums? Lupe Fiasco. Anyway, continue. Like,
yes. I mean, the last 2 are very short. I can go through.
Yeah.
Crash Talk was chasing the first week number. Album has highs, though. To be honest, some of my best rapping, even though it wasn't to my standards personally, is still good.
I agree with that. I think there are some like really good highs on there. I just think there's also chopsticks. Like,
That's him saying he's chasing that first week now. No. Number 6, Sex Backs. This was a shortest one. I barely started rapping, and you can tell. Finding myself, but was pretty good at only rapping about 4 or 5 years. Punch was smart for Simon. That's all.
Yeah. All right. But yeah,
let's talk about it, and it gets into it, and I love that engagement with the community.
I do too. I do love that. Like, I just like artists injecting themselves into the conversation, because I think all the best artists are also fans, you know, right? Like, I don't think fans should have like creative control over franchises or shit like that. But like, I think the best people making hip hop are people who love hip hop, and like clearly Schoolboy Q does. Now, I have another question for you that I'm very excited. Where do you want to see him go from here now? Because here's the thing, right? We gush about this album. It was a left hook. It was a week ago when we didn't know what this album was going to be. We thought it was going to be a very different thing, right? Yeah. And like we still liked it. But the only thing we got from this album that we expected was the overall quality. That's really it. You know what I mean?
Everything else we could not have seen.
So where does he go from here? I think this is the most exciting possible place to be, because he could still go back and do a classic gangster rap album, you know? Oh.
So you're asking what he should do?
What do you want? What do you want? What do you think? And tell me what you want and what you think would be interesting.
What I want? I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I want Oxymoron to. I want.
Yeah, you want like.
I want the feeling of Oxymoron again. That I'm sorry. Like, I love Blue Lips. Like I just said it earlier. I wouldn't change anything about Blue Lips. The vision that he took and how he actually saw it through is amazing. The quality in this album is great. This is truly an album that I'll go back to just listen to. Yeah. He killed it. It's phenomenal. But like, something I really want, like we wanted the dark, gritty gangster rap that only he can do. There's no other album that I could find that hits me or it scratches that itch the same way that Oxymoron.
No,
there's nothing that comes close, and he's the only one that can do it. And like, I understand he's not in the same mental place, he's not in the same financial place, he's not in the same physical place.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah,
but I think he'd do it.
I totally think he could. I totally think he could make an album. I think Oxymoron 2 might be not quite. I think I would want the Blue Lips version of Oxymoron. You know, give me an album with a lot more classic gangster rap production and beats and aesthetics like Oxymoron, with this level of artistry and rapping.
Yes.
Right? I also would love if he teamed up with someone like younger. Right? I don't know exactly who that would be, because it does seem like gangster rap is an old man's game a little bit. Like, you know. Because, like, I say younger, I think maybe I mean, like, less established. Like, I know we say Griselda a lot, but, like, maybe someone like Rome Streets, right? Like,
yeah.
Are there... I think that's another... Like, I loved seeing Rico Nasty in here, but I think I would have liked at least one or two more, like, young artists being brought up on here. Which brings me to, like, why is Doechii not on this album, right? Like...
It's true.
You know, I think, I know they're very different stylistically, but I think in terms of energy, I would have loved Denzel Curry on this. You know, I think he brings the right vibe to it.
It's a weird time right now in hip hop, in my opinion, because I feel like what I also enjoyed out of Oxymoron was a lot of the big names that played a part of it. So you have a J-Rock, you have a Kendrick, you have a 2 Chainz, you have a Tyler out of Oxymoron.
Yeah.
It's a weird place right now, because a lot of the big names that we're used to are they're going towards the end of their career. It's been a shift where some of the younger people are coming in. So when you bring in these newer voices, it doesn't have that punch. And I'm not saying it's not good music, but that hype level wasn't there. Like, sure, Rico Nasty love that. Sure, I love Len Skywalker. Sure, I love Absol. But like the big names that play a part of it that you like to like those surprise features, I don't see it as often as I used to. But I don't know. It could just be a placebo thing.
Yeah. But yeah. Do we want to give grades and move on? Do we have other things?
Sure. Oh, no. We already knew this wasn't going to be a...
Yeah, because like it is very in your face and like speaks for itself. Like we could talk about it in the context of Schoolboy Q's other music. We could talk about our own reactions to it. But like this isn't fucking, I don't know. I'm trying to think. This isn't Kid Seekos where you can extrapolate on it, you know, limitlessly. This isn't Scaring the Hose where I'm going to be out here, you know, banging the drum for it for the next 7 years. Which, by the way, if you haven't yet, listen to last year's Scaring the Hose. It's kind of similar to this album in that it's just kind of manic. Like,
it's all over the place.
Yeah, it's just like all over the place.
All right.
All right. What are you giving it? What are you giving the grade?
I'm fine with an A.
I'm going A. I'm going A. I want to go A+.
Not quite.
Yeah, I don't think quite A+. I don't think it's... Yeah, I think if there's any... And like this, how can this possibly be a criticism? But like, if there is any criticism, it's that it's just not transcendental, right? It's not Good Kid, Mad City. You know what I mean? Like, that is the only...
It's not a classic out the gate.
Yeah, it's not a... Exactly. That is the only thing. Yeah. It is not like a classic out the gate. It is not boldly burning its own lane like Scaring the Hose, in my opinion. You know, it's... That's the only thing. But you can't really call that a negative, can you? Like,
we get those once every like 5 to 10.
Yeah, like what was the last true? Well, no, we had one pretty recently. Yeah, the last true classic out of the gate was probably the Forever Story.
Forever Story.
Yeah.
Now I know everyone can't say that, so I feel like
I think the Forever Story is
close
enough. It's still very young, right? But yeah, I think the Forever Story,
To Pimp a Butterfly.
To Pimp a Butterfly is the most recent. Everyone agrees this is a classic.
And if you don't, you're actually weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Person who's not on the show this week. Like...
As soon as I said it, I was like, wait.
I'm trying to think, is there anything? What about like swimming?
Mm-hmm. Again, I was thinking swimming too, but like swimming has so many different things going on.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like considered hip hop really. It has hip hop elements.
I get you. I'm not, I disagree, but I'm not completely unsympathetic. You know what I mean? Like I get you. I think To Pimp a Butterfly is the most recent. To me, no, To Pimp a Butterfly is sooner. I was gonna say, maybe Run the Jewels too, but
okay,
but that's before To Pimp a Butterfly, so it doesn't count. Like,
I mean, but that's what I was gonna say. Before To Pimp a Butterfly, I mean, completely universal that I can even think of is Dark Fantasy. That's
Dark Fantasy. Yeah, you know, I mean, you could do the cop out and do the other Kendrick album. Like, Good Kid, Mad City is a classic. Like, if there's a tier above classic, it's that, you know?
Yeah.
Wait, what about, like... fuck, what was it? Fuck, what's it called?
Give me the artist.
Anderson .Paak.
Oh. Malibu?
Not Malibu. The one after Malibu. Ventura. Yeah, like, what about Ventura? Ventura was incredible.
Yeah, Ventura was incredible. It's just that he doesn't have a pool.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not Kendrick popular, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
But I guess I believe it.
Yeah. I also think maybe in a year or two we might, if we count this, because I think it's culturally in the same space, but just not the same genre. I think we count After Hours.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
at that level. But
yeah. After Hours.
I haven't listened to After Hours in a long time.
Yeah. Do you know what album I was just revisiting from the same year was Run the Jewels 4? I was playing it for Rachel, and I was like, we were listening to this while picking up broken glass and looking at smoke from burning buildings. Like,
Quite literally pulling up to the blue store.
Look at all these slave masters posing on your dock.
What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive. COVID, baby. All right. Do we want to do Rex?
Yes.
I got 2 ready here.
I am ready. Want to open it up, or you want me to go?
You go first.
That opening up was the group that hasn't put out the album, please. Ghetto Sage, Saba, Smino, None, make some music. Get in the studio right now.
Yeah.
But they all dropped Hagen-Dazs. Absolutely banger of a song. Love it. Great song. Highly recommend.
Okay, so my first one, seeing as this is our first episode in March, I got 2 ladies. First one, I'm doing. This song is just an absolute fucking banger. Came out, I think, like 2 weeks ago. It's everywhere. I can't stop listening to it, and it just has insane amount of energy. Yeah, Glow by Glorilla.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, still pumping in the jail, don't. It's so good. It's very good. I'm sorry.
Big Glorilla fan. Big Glorilla.
Yeah, she's growing on me fast. Me and Rachel were like, "What's Kerbin?" It was like, no, it's just Cuban with her accent. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. I like that.
Is it Detroit?
Oh, I think she's from Nashville. She's like from the South.
Okay. Year. Okay. My second song. Do you remember the run that Giveon had? Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, Giveon.
When Giveon came out, he damn near dominated R&B for a short period.
Yeah, for a good 6 months.
Hit hard. Yes, he hit hard.
End of 2019, early 2020, Giveon's age.
He was the face of R&B.
October 2019 through the pandemic.
Right. Starting off with Chicago Freestyle and just went crazy since then. But one of his most unique and also popular songs, the message is insane that I haven't heard other R&B songs like this. Heartbreak Anniversary. Goddamn. It hits. Banger song. Top tier in R&B.
Oh my God.
He needs to come back as strong as he was before.
Yeah. All right. So this is an artist. This is an artist that I very much regret not bringing up in our first episode of the year, where we talk about like the artists we want to drop albums, because this artist dropped in 2022 with a short but undeniably incredible album. She's part of our favorite hip hop collective. Yeah, it's Armani Caesar. You know, I'm recommending "Survival of the Littest" by Armani Caesar off Liz 2.
What a name,
dude!
Wow.
I went back. I re-listened to both the Liz albums. Dude, those are classic. Might be stretching it, but like they're kind of fucking close, dude. And I don't know, dude. Armani Caesar has just been. I listened to her feature on the new Benny the Butcher album. She sounds sharp. I love how fucking like lyrical she is. I love how she sounds on that production. I am itching for more Armani Caesar music.
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
You know,
and we're getting a lot of Grizel recently, so
yeah, I hope so. But yeah, "Survival of the Littest," Armani Caesar.
Survival. All right, that's put the name in there. All right, cool. We made it. All right.
Well,
not surprised.
All right. You know what we're gonna do? First off, like, subscribe, do all that thing. I'm looking at you, camera. That's right. You do it. And should we do it like Schoolboy Q?
That's it.
That's it.